I have with me here, on my right, I have Simon, and on my left, I have Evans. We are on your way tonight to discuss about agriculture in Africa. So stay tuned and get ready for more information that is going to transform your life. More information that is going to inform you about so many things you need to know about agriculture in Africa. I would like to start straight with Evans. Evans, why agriculture? Why agriculture? You seem very keen about it. So recently, quite some years now, I've seen that you're so keen and passionate about agriculture. So why agriculture? Do you want to speak to us briefly about that?
Thank you very much, Mark. Agric has been a very passionate something for me, and I think that I'm passionate about it because number one, I'm a farmer myself. Okay. I grow cassava and do other things about it. But beyond that, I think that it is the future of Africa. If Africa is going to really move forward and do better than we are doing now, we need to focus on some homegrown productivity, and that comes with agric. Agric has the potential to revolutionize the continent and change the trajectory of the economy across board, because if you look at the population of Africa, by 2050, Africa will be around about 2.5 billion. Wow. With the median age of the young people around 19 years to 22 years. Wow. Meaning that by 2050, every world or in all the global continents, all right, if you take 4 people working, you have 2 people being Africans, right? And that shows the enormity and the agency of the reason why we must take the agric as a serious business. Okay, the other thing is that food is going to be one of the biggest need of mankind because of the population growth and the size that is happening. And Africa will not be an exception. And for that matter, we need to take a very strong approach and a very intentional strategy to making sure that we deal with our food system and our food economy. It's very important also to note that across Africa, you know, according to Africa Development Bank, almost about $100 billion were invested in importing food to African continent. Wow. And that is massive. And what can we do to turn the tide around, you know, and focus more on our own food, growing our own food and eating our own food and exporting the rest to the world? I believe that we have about 60% of African lands being arable, meaning that the lands are ready to be cultivated into food, all right? But we are not doing much, and we are almost import dependent, almost importing everything that we eat in Africa. You know, what can we do to turn it around? And that has been the driving force, you know, around everything that I do with regard to agric. So I'm very passionate about it. I think that it has the opportunity and the everything inclusive to turn Africa around, create jobs for young people in, you know, develop prosperity for the young people, and then expand our influence across the continent and beyond the global borders. And then also, more importantly, owning our food, you know, owning what we eat and then taking control of it and making sure that, because anyone who feeds you controls you. All right? And the important thing is that if we are not able to control our food, okay, our stomach will be controlled. That will determine our direction. Okay, so food is critical, okay, to the destiny of the continent. And for that matter, some of us have stepped out to become a voice, you know, and becomes a leading light in that regard.
Yeah, fantastic. Evans, thank you so much. I think I've been watching you on some of the TV in Ghana, and I've seen you granting a lot of interview. And I'm looking at your passion. I can see that you have so much passion with the participation of the youth in agriculture. And I've also seen some few programs that you have been doing in Ghana, which you are attracting a lot of youth in Ghana, specifically to be more into agriculture in Ghana. What is your passion about the youth participating in agriculture? I believe that it's not only Ghana alone that you have the intention to affect. Yeah. But what is your passion with regards to the youth participation in agriculture, basically in Africa?
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier on, if you look at the data, okay, all right, across the continent, we realize that between the ages of 13 to about 35, okay, almost about 60% of the continent, all right, meaning that the median age of the African population is between 19 and 20 to 22. Okay, that shows that really Africa is a youth populated continent. All right. Number two, the unemployment situation on the African continent is a cause for concern, because number one, it's posed as a continental insecurity. When people don't have jobs to do, and they are not occupied to do decent work, what happens is that like we always say, the devil find work for idle hands. You know, so if they are idle, a bad person can capitalize on their energies and strength for evil. Okay, that's why we see a lot of conflict. Okay, that's been erupted around. That's right. And okay, one, they get some small food to eat and get guns in their hands, they will do all the things that are unthinkable. But when they have decent jobs, okay, they are taking care of their family, they are committed to doing something decent. All right, that will offer them or earn them decent income. All right, I think that they will direct their energies to that profitable use. All right, so and agri has the lowest barrier of entry, meaning that you don't even have to have any big qualification to enter into agribusiness. All that we need is to understand the value and understand how it works and have the passion and the drive to really get something going for you. So agri serves as the commonest denominator, you know, for every young person to be able to. You don't need to have a special skill to enter into agribusiness. You don't have to have a certain special certificate to enter into agribusiness. All right, but yet it is the most important aspect and critical aspect of our economic life. That's right. And for that matter, my passion is that we need to get more young people in to drive economic prosperity, to impart their livelihood, to reduce poverty, to create jobs, and then to also contribute to the economic development of Africa. So if we zero in, okay, on Ghana, I think that Ghana stand at a very critical point, okay, as a gate of Africa. I think that we need to help the young people to really get jobs to do, and if you look at that, Ghana unemployment rate around 40% in the last 2 years. Agri serves as one of the most important aspect of entry to creating more jobs for young people. So that is why I'm very passionate about it. And believe you me, once you do that Greek right, all other sectors will be affected because it will affect the infrastructure aspect of the economy. Roads will be built, electricities will be done, financial sectors will be activated very well, and then food will be in the system, money will be in the system, food will drive everything, and I'm sure that prosperity and jobs will be at the end of the day.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Evans. Viewers, we are talking about agriculture, so it's all about agriculture. So there is more to talk about, but I just want to, before I go back to Evans again, I would like to hear from Simon. Simon, I think we are talking about youth participation in agriculture.
Right. That's right.
I know Evans has said a lot, but I want to hear from you. What do you also think about it? What's your idea about that? Is it a brilliant idea?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm 100%, with Evans when you think of what agriculture can do for the young person. The youth are our future. Whether we like it or not, in a few years' time, a lot of us will grow old and will not be able to actively do the kinds of things we are doing now. As I think about the youth, I'm even thinking if I were to have this kind of opportunity when I was younger, 20 years ago or so, I would perhaps be more actively involved with with some kind of farming, or in one way or the other be involved with some kind of agriculture work. My dad, who is now in blessed memory, used to always encourage me to get into some kind of farming, some kind of agriculture work, but obviously I had my own intentions and my own plans, so I went on the other way around. But for Evans to begin to talk about the youth getting involved with agriculture, I think it's the right thing to do, especially now. because Ghana, like you said, stands at a very vantage point to inspire, if I want to say, or if I may say, the whole of Africa to really begin to see something really involving in this area of agriculture. I think that the youth, if we can get them to focus on agriculture as a business, which is what Evans has been trying to drive, and that is where I really connect with him on that idea that we can definitely, if we can get our youth involved with agriculture and think of it as a business, that they can do it and earn money, they can do it and earn a living out of it. That, I think, is what we need to continue to do, and I hope that the youth will hear our message, and hopefully we can lay down some very good structures that they can get into that can help them to move on with this idea. So yeah, fantastic. I'm 100% with this idea.
Okay, thank you very much, Simon. That is wonderful, and I'm happy to hear all the information that I've been giving out.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about something. You know, we are in the United Kingdom.
That's it.
And the diasporas over here, especially the youth diasporas, I'm just thinking, in Africa, it's easy. Very easy for you to get the youth into farming. Yeah. But in this country, I'm just thinking about how we're going to get them into farming. Notwithstanding, I would like Evans to talk to me about this. Right. Yeah. That what role does Evans think that the youth in this country, when it comes about agriculture, they can actually play? Or how are we able to get the attention in terms of being passionate or having interest in agriculture?
Yeah.
I don't know if my question.
Yeah, very well, very well. Yeah.
So, do you want to tell us something, because I know that this program has been going on in Africa. There has been a lot of impartation going on. Evans has had a lot. I think you're going to give us some of the statistics and some of the things that you're doing in Ghana, which has really attracted a lot of youth into the field of agriculture. But you are kind of bringing similar idea in United Kingdom here, and I believe it's one of the reasons why you're also in UK for our African Agriculture Summit. So can you tell me what strategy do you have in place in order to also encourage the youth in this country who in the diaspora, youth diaspora in this country, who probably are thinking like, we want to come back to Africa, or maybe in future I want to come to Africa and do something. So which role should they play?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that if we look at the agribusiness economy, it's a very big, huge sector, like with different value chain, areas. For example, we have the production level, where you start the plantation itself, or the rearing of the crop or the animals itself. But even before the production, we have market analysis, we have data analytics, infusing technology into agri, and the way the young people are so versatile with technology, they can leverage on it, and make agri very sexy, very attractive, to expand production, make it more efficient, effective. How they can use AI, to analyze soil, to do drone sensing, data. These are things that are at the fingertips of the young people, especially the people who are here. How do you leverage technology, in improving food security? And I think that the diaspora young people can take advantage of it. They can come to Ghana, they can set up companies, how to use drones to assess soil tests, to even do spraying, large, commercial farm, 500 acres, 400 acres, 200 acres. You may not be able to get people who have the machine at their back and rolling all over 200 acres. But somebody standing with just a controller in his palm, with a drone up, and control the drone to spray all of it within 20 minutes. You are done. And these are the works of the young people. Where you can use the technology, AI, to determine the soil sample, even determine the health of a crop, at what times, in all of that. Even we have mobile apps, which is developed specifically to determine climate, conditions of plant and everything. And these are all within the realm of technology. So young people can take advantage of it. You know, there's also a distribution aspect where people can sit in one place, they go on an app, they know which foodstuff are available at what time. You know, these are all technologically driven. So young people can take advantage of it and leverage on this technology to improve agribusiness in Africa and even in UK here. So there's a lot of opportunity in it. There's a logistical aspect of it, coaching, you know, side of it, how people can control using a cold chain system. You grow your tomatoes, you can store the tomatoes for 4 months, for 3 months till you get your market. You know, the logistical aspect, people can have tractors. You know, they want to have asset farm services. They just go on an app, tap a certain number, and instantly you have your access to your fertilizer and everything. These are all within the realm of tech, and we call it agritech. You know, and young people can take advantage. So the opportunities are plenty. You know, and that's why we are here to spearhead Africa Agriculture Investment Summit, where we believe that young people, the diaspora, both young and old, can come home and invest and do agribusiness, make big money, come back to UK and have a good time. So the opportunities are so many. Fantastic. In agribusiness. We have distribution side, we have the processing side, we have the even the waste management aspect of it. You know, where you're doing recycling. You know, it's a big thing in Europe here. You know, about renewable energy, using waste to generate energy. It's all part of the value chain of agribusiness.
Wow.
It reminds me, I met a young man, I think about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And because we are thinking about the diaspora and youth in the UK in particular. So this young man has been working in a particular sector here. We met, we were discussing, and then he told me, as for him, his passion is to get into, if I may use a tree, the way he put it in the tree, he said, to dry fish. Yes. Okay. And apparently he's had some few intriguing discussions with other people who have been in the system, and he's very passionate about getting and say, yes, that's the kind of, you know,
exactly.
Yes. Want young people in this country to have. It is not wrong for you to get into some kind of farming, whether fish farming, animal farm, whatever it is, you can do something. Like this young man, so enthusiastic, and I was so impressed about his passion and his heart to get into the business and do something. And when we do that, don't forget, it will open up a lot of employment avenues for so many people of his age.
Exactly.
And it was such an interest. So it just crossed my mind. But we're thinking.
That's a brilliant. That's a brilliant. What do you call it? Story that you share with us. And you see, we are going to talk about the some of the challenges and how we can resolve. I mean, solutions to those challenges. But before we do that, I just want to find out from Evans once again, because I know Evans has been doing very well in Ghana in terms of agriculture, and specifically you're also into cassava plantation. I want to find out in terms of investing in this kind of agriculture, is it capital intensive, or how, do you want to tell us something about that? Is it very expensive? Is it capital intensive? Or is something that probably you don't need much? You understand? Because maybe somebody is watching us, is asking, okay, I'm a youth, and if I have £2,000, or I have £1,000, or I have £3,000, am I able to start or go enter into agriculture? I know you've spoken about a wider space of agriculture, but however it is, I also want to understand possibly somebody who wants to go into it specifically.
Wow, so great. I think I mean, let me start by saying that agric is not for the faint-hearted. Yet it is an area that can change lives and impact society. It's very expensive to do agriculture, especially in our today's world, because the machineries that the equipment that you will need,
that is the large scale, right?
If you want to do a large scale, very expensive. However, there's always a place to start from. You know, you can do 1 acre. That way, because it depends on what you want to do, which type of crop or which type of animal you want to rear. And agric is such that it is 100% on return on investment.
Wonderful.
If you have everything equally in place. If all, like we say in economics, if all things being equal, that meaning that if you have all the conditions met, you have 100% on investment.
Brilliant.
All right. The key challenge that we have is that people don't have time for what they are growing. You know, they don't nurse the baby well. They don't own the project. They start something and then give it to somebody to run it for them, and that is where the challenge comes in. But if you really believe that that is what you want to do, you must give time to it. You must have patience for it. You must be there to really get yourself involved, make yourself dirty through it, and then you see the results. So it's difficult, but it's worth it because the results and the outcome will override all the pains that you and the investment that you put in. So for me, I think that the value is big, it's huge, but it has its own challenges, and one of them is financing. Because it's very expensive to get equipment. Tractor in itself is very expensive. Today, if I even do renting a tractor, it's equally expensive. But the investment is worth it because the results will give you about 3 or 4 times what you put in. Yeah. So what is important is that you make up your mind that you are ready for it, and once you build that mindset, I'm sure that you'll be able to go through it and get what you are looking for.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Evans mentioned the word patience. And I think it's a very important point that must be highlighted, especially when you are talking about young people like myself and below trying to get into agriculture. I call this kind of generation like the microwave generation, where everything has to be fast, in there and out warm in 10 seconds. So our mindset is like that, and that is, I think, one of the challenges when it comes to young people and the young adults trying to get there, because of the slow pace of having to let things grow in its own time and then benefiting, like Evans is saying. So I think the word patience is key. We must be able to encourage our young ones to be patient and get involved with patience and see to it that they are able to follow through processes that will make it possible for them to have good business out of the whole thing. So thank you for raising that point.
Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. You see, whilst I'm listening, when Evans was talking, Evans said it's very expensive. You see, the way he said it and exaggerated it, probably the way I heard from him, if somebody heard it the same way, the person would get scared. I don't want to go into
I don't want to start at all.
I don't want to start at all. But
true.
I think you also mentioned you can start with 1 acre and then get to some point.
Of course. And the other thing is that every stage, of your agribusiness has its own target market. All right. So if you have 1 acre, even if you're doing ½ acre, you have a market for it. If you're doing 100 acres, you have a market for it. All right. So the interesting aspect of it is that everybody eats, isn't it?
Of course.
If you go around and come back, you come and eat it. That makes agri a very critical component of man's life. All right. Today, if farmers decide to go on strike, there will be food shortage around. It is the food shortage. There will be frustration in the system. Of course. All the economy will crash. Exactly. So it's the bedrock of the society. All right. That's why we must treat farmers very, very important. We must see them as the foundation of human existence. And farming is key. In fact, it's even God's first business. He first planted garden, of course, all right, and put man in. So God is the first agriculturalist, if you want to put it that way. That's right. So it's very important that, we see it from that perspective. That everybody can do it from whichever level that you find yourself in. The key thing is that you want to grow with it, and every farmer has time. It teaches us about the power of containment, the power of having time, being patient, having perseverance and determination, and it has its own processes, in that way. So agri in itself is a massive life teacher, and we expect that everybody will come into it and then begin to prosper through it. You remember that years ago, farmers were the owners of all the big things. Today, technology is taking over, but I'm telling you, farmers, agri is about overtake the technology people. That's why the emerging technology with agri is going to be a fantastic, coexistence. And I tell you, massive things are on the way.
That's a whole topic to discuss. A whole topic to discuss.
Of course.
Yes. So I think I'm going to go on probably my final question there. You're here, you're in UK for the Africa Agriculture Investment Summit. And I think there's a vision behind, there is a reason for that program.
That's right.
Why you're here and you're the target people you're looking forward to come for the program. So I just want to ask, do you want to tell us something brief about the African Investment Agriculture Summit?
Sure.
We just want to hear something brief about it.
The Africa Agriculture Investment Summit basically is about Africans who are in the diaspora, coming home to invest in agribusiness.
Yeah.
All right, and having a huge return on their investment. Okay, while they are still even in UK or in America or in Europe or in Asia. The reason is this: look, remittances, according to data from the Africa Development Bank, all right, the remittances alone that came to Africa was around between 59 to 100 billion dollars.
Wow.
Only remittances. And when we talk about remittances, it's almost about 10% of everybody's investment, okay, in the diaspora. All right, so the money that is there is taking 10% out of it and giving to family, giving to medical issues and stuff like that in their home, country, But if they have to have intentional investment, focus in one sector of the economy, like agribusiness, okay, that alone, that intentional investment is going to be more than the 10%. For instance, in Ghana, last year, all right, the remittances that flew into Ghana alone was about $5.1 billion. That was more than the money that the government went to IMF to look for.
Interesting.
You get it? 2023, it was $4.6 billion for remittance alone coming to Ghana. Okay, so assuming that the diasporans in abroad decide that now, instead of just sending small 10% of their investment, okay, to take off family and other essentials in their home country, they are now going to do investment. All right, that means that we are going to have about between 20 to 50 to about 90% or 100% of their money sitting in abroad, going to their home country to invest. Okay, and the investment is in the area of agribusiness. All right, you can imagine the impacts that will happen to our countries. You can imagine the jobs that will be created. And the young people who don't have jobs to do will have jobs to do.
That's right.
Okay, so that is the concept. All right, driving investment in the diaspora, okay, to focusing on agribusinesses in the African countries. Okay, and particularly in Ghana, because I come from Ghana. I want to start from Ghana, and then later on we'll trickle down to other countries. So how can Ghanaians here, Nigerians here, all the Africans decide I want to go to Ghana? Why? Because it's one of the most peaceful country, okay, on earth. Okay, the investment climate is so big, is so favorable. All right, we have very nice people as Ghanaians, very accommodating. The lands are vast. Okay, we have used less than 5% of our arable lands in Ghana for agricultural productivity. So it's an opportunity now, and thank God our government of the day now is now focusing on agribusiness. They believe that agribusiness has the potential to turn the economy around and giving incentives to people who want to come home to do investment in agribusiness and everything. So what we are doing is supporting the broader vision of the government of the day by driving and inspiring many people from here to go and do agribusiness. Let me give you an example. Last year when we came, okay, to do the conference, one man who had lived in the UK for almost 40 years decided to relocate to Ghana to do agribusiness, and we were able to help him to locate 300 acres of land and started rice farming and cowpea. And today I'm talking to you, he's doing an amazingly well with his farm. Yes, and it's going to be at the conference that is happening on the 7th at the Regent Park. So driving investment is very important, because at the end of the day, if we don't go to build businesses there in our country, our family people continue to depend on us here. All right, but if we build businesses that are sustainable, okay, they will have opportunity to work in even in these businesses that will invigorate the rural economies and then also impact massively on the broader economy of the country, and so that everybody will have a shared prosperity, and that pressure coming every day on you will drastically reduce. So that is the vision. The vision is to inspire people here to open their eye to see the enormous opportunity in agribusiness in Ghana, and how they can tap into it and collaborate and partner with us for us to be able to build a very sustainable societies that we live in, and impart and create decent and important livelihood for our young people.
Okay, fantastic. I think I'm going to request you, or maybe Simon, to tell us about the dates and the venue and all those stuff. But before we do that, there is a very important question that has come on my mind that I need to ask. One of the things that you see, there's always a challenge going on in this country. Let's say in the diaspora aspect, those who live here from Africa, you probably trust somebody and give money to someone to do a business, or maybe do a farm for you, and before you realize, there is no accountability of the money. You ask them of the accountability, they don't have any time to show off. All your money will be squandered, or all your money is gone. You understand? But from the way you're talking, you said we. Do you have maybe a group or a company, or how are you able to help people? Let's say if I need somebody to trust my 20,000 pounds or my 10,000 pounds in agriculture, do you have maybe an organization that really protect people like that, give them some level of security, so that at the end of the day, if they want to invest their money and possibly they are not even living in Africa, there will be a way out that their money will still be secured. I hope my question.
Absolutely, that's a brilliant question. Brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant. Look, I've had opportunity to speak to a lot of the diasporans, and then the thing is that many of them, investment has bent. They have the investment bent because they didn't get the right people, to connect with them and help them. You get it? Now, we have become like the intermediary, all right, to step into that arena, to be counted and say, hey, you can trust us. That's why we are here. We've built a very credible organization in Ghana. We are Agric is a very strong, forthright and foremost organization that drive agric investment across the country. So we can help you, do the right investment. We can take your money, farm with you, and then get your return investment. If you want to roll over, we are ready for you. So that's why we are here, to open the eye, because if you don't get the right person, to help you do your investment, you burn your investment and get to, frustrated. But if you get the right people like us, we have a very dedicated team, people who have strong values, in making sure that they do what they are asked to do and to get to the right result. So that's why we are here. Our organization is poised to do that, to serve as an agency that can help you if you want to do any business in Ghana, for instance. You want to connect with non-traditional product and bring it to Ghana, you can do that. So we are here to help people to do that and to invest in our company and then our agribusiness and what we are doing. We have a model, and we'll showcase that model on the 7th of June at the Regent Park, in central London, and we're going to do that, and it's going to be an amazing time.
Okay, so Simon, the date is
we are having 2 days. On the 6th, which is a Friday, at the Ghana High Commission in Belgrave Square, the main High Commission down in the city. And then that will start from, it's a breakfast meet and greet some of the speakers that will come. So that will start from 9 to 12, 12:30 thereabout, and then we'll be done. And then we'll move on to the Holiday Inn at Regent's Park. Holiday Inn at Regent's Park, and that will also start in the morning. It's a Saturday on the 7th of June. That will start in the morning at 9 a.m. and it's a whole day event going all the way till 4:30. There will be keynote speakers giving different lectures.
Panel, breakout sessions.
We'll have discussions. You'll have time for Q&As, question and answer sections, and then we'll also have there'll be lots of tea and coffee in between as well to chill. Basically, it's a whole day event. If you want to get involved, it's never too late. The registration is ongoing until the morning of the event, which is the Saturday 7th. of June.
So where is the registration?
Registration is going on at Eventbrite. If you UK Eventbrite, you find us, and then there's a small admin fee to get in. About £10, I think, and that will get you registered, and we will see you on the 7th. If you want to come on the 6th, which is the first day, the Friday, you have to register. Register your name, and there's a number on the ad to register with one of our event organizers, Ruby Nelson, who couldn't be here with us. She has to be somewhere else, but wonderful. Yes, she's a fantastic lady working with us on this project, and we hope that everybody can be able to make it on the 6th and then on the 7th as well. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much, Simon. It has been a wonderful program.
You're welcome.
I believe that people has really, it has been very educative and informative. People has really received a lot of information.
That's right.
And we hope to see everyone at the program as well.
Yeah.
And when everyone, we are all going to be there. They
Nice.
see us face to face, and we're going to have a wonderful time.
Fabulous.
And I want to thank you, Evans, and I want to thank you, Simon.
Yeah,
thank you so much for your time and everything.
It's a pleasure.
So thank you for coming. And this is Omega TV.
Yeah.
This is a program that is going to be on and on to encourage people that have the passion to go into agriculture, just to show them, point them at the right direction, so that they will be able to know how, what, and when to invest in agriculture.
That's right.
So thank you very much, our viewers. It has been a pleasure being on your way. We'll definitely come on your way again soon. Thank you very much.
Did you know Ghana spends over $2 million every week importing onions? This is a multi-million-dollar gap just waiting for smart investors like you. Ghana spends over $300 million annually on rice imports. Yet we have the land, water, and climate to grow it ourselves. Ghana needs over 200,000 metric tons of cassava annually, but produces less than 60,000 metric tons. This is more than a short. This is your chance to feed a nation and build lasting wealth. $210 million is spent every year importing poultry into Ghana. The local market is wide open for visionary agripreneurs. Will you seize it or watch it pass?
Join the Africa Agriculture Investment Summit on the 6th and 7th of June at the Holiday Inn Regents Park, London, as visionaries, investors, farmers, and leaders come together to shape the future of African agriculture. Hear from powerful voices from global trade experts. Learn how to access land, funding, and export markets.
Africa Agriculture Investment Summit 2025. Building wealth through agriculture and green energy. Africa is ready. Are you ready?